Alright everybody, snap, crackle, and pop your ass down into your chair because it's kind of time for a Company of Heroes 2 shoutcast between Zerg 1111 Zerg underscore 1111 as the Germans and open, what are those called? No, like less than, greater than playing as the Soviets going straight into tier 1. In my previous shoutcast, I said I was going to try and record at 60 frames per second. Turns out, Company Heroes 2 not a fan of that, and they've both chosen their doctrines. We are on this weird map with a waterfall. I'm TychoCelchuuu. This is a bunker, and let's take a look at the. This map is big. It seems kind of big. Maybe it's not big. A lot of the newish community maps seem big and stretched out on this axis. I don't know about it, guys. I don't know about it. Doctrine Jager, Infantry Doctrine Jaeger, right? Not Jager. I don't know why I said Jager. And Soviet Reserve Army. Cool. So they've both got things with people doing stuff, and we have an MG out first from. Was it first or was it second? I think it was first. From the Germans, and so we'll have to see how that matches up against what's going to be Penal Battalion spam if I'm any judge of these things. And they're blocking off the house. Can you still get in the house? Can you walk between those bushes and the wire? I believe you probably can't, because otherwise less than, greater than wouldn't have bothered. Let's look at the bulletins. Penal Battalion rifles, 3 more. Why is it called torched? Anyways. And then conscripts, and then grenadiers, ooh, with extreme difficulty like that, and massacre, flak panzer, often forward-facing machine guns now inflict a small amount of suppression. That's, I don't think I've seen, I mean, I'm sure I've seen that bulletin like 1,000 times, but I never pay attention to them, because I don't have the brain for these things. This comes with barbed wire already. You remember when this barbed wire was a thing? I mean, it never was a thing. Nobody ever fucking built it. But like, they were trying something. They gave the Germans the weirdo. It was the Germans, right? They gave the Germans the weirdo barbed wire. They had to crawl under, and it just made you slower. And they gave the Soviets the traditional one. I can't even remember which group had it. I think it was the Germans who had the weirdo one. And I actually thought that was a cool change from the original Company Heroes. You know, they were mixing things up. They were making it more dynamic rather than just like a movement blocker. It was a movement modifier. I thought that was a neat sort of idea, and of course it didn't end up working because Relic doesn't know what the fuck. But at least they tried. Their heart was in the right place. And finally, we have a fucking clown car, something I predicted, I think, non-stop since people have started building penal battalions in this patch. But that was no longer in the meta, so I was always continually wrong. Wow, look at this fucking house. That's not a good texture on the roof. It just doesn't look good. This is fucking like, this looks, every once in a while there's like a janky texture in Half-Life 2 if you're playing through that game, and there's just like a thing that doesn't look very good. I mean, this happens in pretty much every video game except Mirror's Edge has no janky textures, Dishonored has no janky textures. Some games are, Firewatch I don't think has any janky. Some games are just gorgeous, but most games, even the nice looking ones, every once in a while there's just some ugly thing. In Half-Life 2 they really stand out pretty often, and this just for some reason reminds me of those janky ass Half-Life 2. Oof, we got a damaged transmission, yeah, we got a Faust, and that's a very short lease on life for the clown car because we have a great MG42 set up to catch it in the butt. So the thing is, you know, on a big map like this, you feel like you can chase your opponent down all the way to the ends of the earth. Doesn't even kill the Pioneer Squad, but he's like, I'm fucking out for blood. But when you do that, you get so far into enemy territory that stuff like this can happen. You can get caught out with your dick out for Harambe, and there's no way to get back before you get blown up. And we didn't even have the incendiary armor-piercing rounds. Or maybe we did. Team must be set up. I thought you needed Vet 1 for those, do you? Yeah, you need Vet 1 for those. So we didn't even have the armor-piercing incendiary rounds, which would have shredded it that much faster. But the German player, I'm sure, is feeling very happy about this, and the Soviet player is like, well, if you can't beat them, then get a sniper. That was a fucking grenade. These penal battalion guys don't fuck around. 45 munitions for that. And so, Kind of unfortunate that the Soviet player going in on a sniper team because we have a scout car coming out for the Germans, something you can definitely expect because the Germans just love their scout car. Totally understandable. You got to be worried about the Soviets rebuilding that clown car, I'm sure, is one thing the German was worried about. And also, because you've seen the Penal Battalion, you know if it's not going to be clown car, it's going to be either Penal Battalion spam or maybe a sniper coming out, something like that. Like, those are the only options coming out this tier 1. And a scout car is just good against all of that versus Penal Battalions. They don't have any sort of anti-tank stuff. It's not like the scout car does a ton of damage to them, and since they have 6 members in the squad, they can just kind of rush up and shoot it. But it's not like they're great against a scout car, so a scout car is fine against them, but a scout car is great against your enemy's clown car, and it's also great against your enemy's sniper, so no reason not just to get that thing out as a German once you see your opponent's gun tier 1. And here we have it right in the fight, and instantly the sniper's got to pull back. Does the German see the sniper? Yes, because the scout car gives you pretty good sight, and so potentially gonna chase. Looks like the idea is still to shoot the. Nope, just kidding. Changes its mind. But wow, man, it's fucking tough to see things because everything's all gray. But oh, this is bad. There's nothing to stop the base rush from the scout car. So or I guess these are conscripts, aren't they? I was gonna say 2 Penal Battalions shooting at the scout car. Those will start killing it. Nice move here, getting these snipers out of here. I'm not sure if actually into the bunker was a good idea, because that makes it so that they're always going to be a target, they're always going to take damage, and actually the bunker is taking a bunch of fucking damage too. It'd be, I think, better to move them up here and cloak them in this tree, so that then the scout car has to get close to spot them, and they get shot by the bunker. Yeah, I think this was a mistake getting into the bunker. The sniper might survive, though, with the... Oh, just kidding. Yeah, so scout car for a sniper. I don't know about that trade. Actually, you know, if you look what it costs to build these things, well, I want to show the sniper, but I'll show the scout car first. So, scout car is 15 fuel, whereas the sniper, 0 fuel. So obviously you do win the manpower fight there, but you do set your teching back a bit. We have the Pak 42, really worried about the clown car, or maybe the T-70 rush. I'm not sure what the fuel income looks like. The Soviet player lower on the fuel income, so it's going to be a little while till we see the T-70 coming out. I think field infirmary going, and yeah, so German player, aside from throwing away the scout car, in a pretty good position. I guess when you're a bit ahead like this, having killed your opponent's clown car, even trades, you're like you're fine. You just want to keep the pace of the game kind of slow and keep your lead. So you throw away a scout car for a sniper, set both people back, and you figure you're good to go. But I don't know. Even trades tend to favor the person who's behind, because you make enough even trades and the degree to which you're behind just goes down, because the more sort of even moves you make, the more the game progresses. And you get to a point where it's just like, well, if the game's 4 minutes in and you've lost a clown car and they've lost nothing, then they're way ahead. But if the game's like 10 minutes in and you've lost a bunch of stuff, they've lost a bunch of stuff, and you've lost one extra clown car, not as big of a deal. So, kind of an interesting choice by the German, but I figure, you know, once you're in the base and shooting at the sniper, you're pretty much all in. Once the sniper's pretty much low and your scout car is low, then you're for sure all in. This looks like fucking toxic sludge over here. I think it's ice, but it's green-ish somehow. Does it look green to you? It definitely looks green to me. It's not easy being green. These minesweepers are prescient. Did he know there's mines over here? Because there's mines over here. I don't know if he knew. Do you think he knew? This map is just too big to look at everything. I don't think this map is actually that too big, but it does seem kind of big. I'm not imagining things, right, folks? This is kind of large. God, this roof. Look at this shit. Just look at it. That roof is a war crime. I'm gonna write a petition to Relic. Fix that roof. I'm not. So I guess this is just like cosmetic barbed wire. That's very odd. I would at least like to see it come back in the form of a you know, a map feature that sometimes slows people down. If you're not going to have actual players building it, at least it can get some use like that. But not even like that. So I'm disappointed, but maybe I wasn't watching close enough. My impression was when they try and move through that barbed wire, they have to crawl on their belly, but that may be a false memory. It might just slow them down normally, in which case maybe it was functioning. Thank God this house is finally getting some good damage in on it. Soon it'll collapse and I'll never have to look at that fucking roof again. So Germans definitely in a commanding lead. This despite sinking some manpower into a AT gun that's doing fuck all. That may have somehow influenced the Soviet choice to build another sniper out of Tier 1 rather than go for another clown car, but it's just, it's neat that neither, I said neat, I should have said weird, it's strange, it's bizarre that neither player is really teched up yet. We have 130 fuel in the bank for the Germans, 160 in the bank for the Soviets. Both these players are, I think this actually isn't the top ranked auto match, it's the third top ranked auto match game right now. What are these? These are like a, oh fuck, I bet you can't see my cursor. God damn it. Oh no, wait, I think you can see it. No, you can't see my cursor. Fuck. I forgot to turn that shit on in my recording thing, DxTory, and I keep fucking forgetting. It's not a huge deal in Company Heroes 2, because half the time when I'm hovering over something, you can see the little infantry dots on the ground or whatever, and or like when I'm hovering over something down here on the bottom, you can see the tooltip pop up, but it's better to see the cursor. Fuck me. I'll fix it next time, I promise. I don't promise, actually. I might forget. I was talking about something before that. No, I wasn't talking about something before I realized the cursor is gone. I was talking about the fucking concrete things, which I can't even find anymore, and I was wondering where they were. There they are. What are they? But I was talking something. Oh, I was talking about neither player teching up. But I guess the Germans teched up. Where'd all the fuel go? Let's find out. Oh, whew, all the way up to Tier 3. Or Tier 2. Whatever the fuck. It's got a 2 on the... That's Battle Phase 2. I don't know what to fucking call it. I should have watched this fight closer. I don't know how the Soviet penetrated quite so close. I guess this machine gun was trying to do some fancy flanking stuff, catch them on the rebound, fire backwards, but you sort of find yourself isolated if you do that, because it's very easy to just get flanked around this, this hedgerow. They can come in on this path, which I have to do because I can't just move my mouse because you can't fucking see my mouse, but I guess you can see the dots, so you can vaguely understand what is happening. And so the Soviet player really clawing his way back. This sniper up to 3 kills already. Another sniper squad coming out, and I'm really interested to see what the Soviet player is going to do tech-wise, because these people aren't, they're just immediately moving out from base. I'm really surprised they're moving out from base. I would have thought once your engineers are back at base, now is a perfect time to tech right up, but I guess the Soviet player wants to be a reactive techer, which you don't often see from players who are behind. Someone who's lost his clown car is usually going to be thinking, I gotta move on. I gotta progress past the lost clown car, past the sniper spam, and find something that's going to work. But it's a combination of sniper spam not working too badly. It's at least paying off right now, and just making the choice to be more passive here. See what the German player goes for. So the penal squads with the flamethrower are nice because there's so many people who aren't carrying the flamethrower that if they get into the red cover to try and dodge the flamethrower, all the guys carrying guns will just shoot them. And if they get into green cover to dodge the guys with the guns, the flamethrower will roast them. So it's a nice 1-2 punch that you don't often get with flamethrowers, because usually you've just got engineers or something carrying the flamethrowers, and they're not going to do fuck all to anybody who's in red cover to avoid the flames. Because the model number is 2, there's not enough people in the squad, and their guns aren't good enough, they're not accurate enough, and so on. Anyways, we have a Panzer IV medium tank. That's the teching from the Germans, so good job there, spending all that banked fuel. So if we don't see an immediate reaction from the Soviets, I'm going to be very disappointed in the Russian player. I don't think we have the sight on the vehicle yet. It seems like the German player kind of keeping it out of sight. I'm not sure on purpose, just not really sure where to send it. Now for sure, the Soviet player sees it. It sounds weird. Does it sound weird on your screen? Now it sounds normal, but it sounded very muffled on my screen until just now. So Soviet player's like, yep, there's a tank, and now the question is, do these combat engineers retreat to immediately build a thing? Do they try and get enough capping done down there? This is kind of a tough spot to be in, because Partisan Tank Hunter is completed. That's there you go. So 270 manpower. I guess it's worth it because you've also floating a lot of that, but I'm just questionable as to whether this is going to work versus the Panzer IV unless it does something about these MGs. Obviously the snipers are a great counter to the MGs, but it's tough to get that going now that there's a tank on the field. Your opponent doesn't have you don't have like complete infantry spirit. Or anyway, so we did retreat the engineers. I was gonna say it's a tough choice because the engineers are down here and it's pretty quiet down here. So it's tempting to send the engineers onto the VP and or onto the fuel because that's a really nice thing to do with them. You get some map control and that's important. But you do have to do the trade-off, which is that if they're up there, they're not teching back at your base by building your next thing. So good job, the Shrek or whatever. It's a Shrek, right? Bazooka. I don't know what the fuck they come with. But yeah, so he did make the choice. He or she made the choice to retreat, and now we're gonna get tier 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Which I guess you now have to build before tier 4, which they changed long ago. And I never got the memo until I did. Somebody posted on my YouTube channel. Thank you. So I still, ooh, sniper. So 6 kills on this sniper, 0 kills on this sniper, so that establishes conclusively that women are better than men. It's good to have that finally solved, because that was the source of a lot of back and forth for a while. Whoop. The snipers do kind of walk straight into people. I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe they were hiding behind these hedges or something. Are we gonna have, yeah, we do have a snare going off with the Ura, so this is the chance, maybe call in another partisan tank hunter squad from this building, and go for the jugular, because you've actually got it down to half, but with these MGs here it might be tough to keep chasing. I don't know, that was a, yeah, so, oh wow, okay, I was just stupid, I didn't think about that. I fucking call it in from behind the tank, and now things are looking not so bad. Get the AT grenade in. That doesn't do a lot, but it does a little, and at this point maybe a little is all you need. How are there two? A squad of infantry has been killed. Looks like the sniper squad died at some point. I was too busy watching. Oh, what do we have coming in here? Light artillery barrage. I don't know. Oh, Jesus, motherfucker. Wow. Oof. Well, that was exciting. And that now they can fucking take the Panzer Shrek too. Yowza. Bad news for Soviets all around. Losing a sniper squad somewhere around here. Looks like, yeah, this is the one sniper. I love that funny hat. Funny hat. The Pope hat. And so that's dead. The other sniper presumably died somewhere around here. Just going to be able to repair this back up to full strength. And that's looking pretty good. Now we have a Stug coming out. And if I were the Soviets, I'd be unhappy. I mean, you still have the fuel. You teched up, but you never used it. There's not a lot you can do. Maybe an Su-76. I don't know. In conjunction with your tank hunter infantry, that can be effective, but you're down to 1 squad of tank hunter infantry, remember? So we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be a tough one for the Soviet to claw their way back into. And the Pioneer Squad picks up the Shrek. So you always got a choice like this when you're Germans, and you've got a bunch of 4-person squads. You really need the anti-infantry fighting power on your Grenadiers, because your opponent's going heavy conscripts, heavy Penal Battalion, heavy Sniper, heavy Tank Hunter even. So Partisan Tank Hunter is completed. Interesting. This could be a chance, but I just worry that this Grenadier squad is going to be too much. And now there's a student too, so they're fucked. Yeah, Soviet player just not quite able to bring everything into the fight, except now they're giving it a try. Nice MG, whoop, I was gonna say nice MG reposition. Ooh! So we do have the kill. They sacrificed their lives for it, but we do take out the tank. And we also get the pack. Oh, if you can steal that pack, that would actually be really great right now. So these conscripts are hurrahing forward because they have PPSHs, presumably trying to clear the ground, but they don't realize that there's a machine gun here. Oh, I think that might have missed their window of opportunity. So I guess we have a Penal Battalion squad coming up. So if the sniper can take out the MG, clear the way for the pack, and the Soviet player can steal the pack, everything's going to be coming up roses for the Soviet player. This is a nice reversal of fortune. That Panzer IV getting itself killed a little. Oh, and he hits the retreat. No, the Stug was freaking him out, but it's just a Stug, man. There's only so much a Stug can do, and these conscripts aren't even fight. They don't even give a shit. They've just abandoned the fight, and they don't even care about the pack. I feel like I'm placing a lot more importance on this pack than the Soviet player is. Rapid conscription. Was that a misclick? Did you mean to click rapid conscription? because you're not taking any combat losses. Well, there's a dead. What are they fucking? I didn't even know these existed. Foxholes. That's exciting. I'd fucking never seen that. This is how little I know about this game. I need to play this game more. Did that grenade miss? Maybe it just impacted on the front, didn't do anything. Shaped charge technology helps penetrate armor. Lies! Lies! Yeah, I feel like I made a much bigger deal out of that Pack 40 than the Soviet player did, and I still feel like I was right to do that, because that's just your ticket right back into this game. Your opponent's teched up to tier 4. They're clearly going for the Stug Panzer IV sort of thing. And Ostwind is maybe in the future. You've hopefully seen their bulletins on the loading screen. You know, an Ostwind is maybe in the future. And a Pack 40 would just be so good, especially because you don't have tier 2. Now we have tier 4. We don't have tier 2, so the Soviet player can't, remember, get AT guns without backteching. And that's just a pain in the ass that nobody wants to do. So it's like, oh, I really would love to see that. And he had the forces here. He had the conscripts. The only two blocks were the MG42 and the Stug. Stug, honestly, I wouldn't have been too scared of. MG42, you can pick it off with your sniper. And I guess the worry was that the Stug would kill the snipers, and then it would be bad, and things would be unfortunate. And so we have rapid conscription pop for effectively no reason. Nice Ura here, though. Chasing down the MG, not throwing anything that makes sense. We don't even have the Molotov researched, so couldn't throw something if I wanted to. And so the Soviet player, I like the play, very scrappy play. Managed to take out the Panzer IV, using the snipers to dance around, getting some nice shots in on this MG, up to 14 kills with the sniper, but without some serious anti-tank. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know, the German player hasn't been doing so great on map control. Now that I'm looking at the map and it's just really Soviet player, they've been able to hold on to the fuel, so that's important. But you would think with this kind of infantry forces versus this kind of infantry forces, and you're the ones with the tanks, that you'd be able to claw your way back in better. But this is just a testament, I think, to the Soviet player's aggression. The Soviet player has been really nice about fighting for. Oh, God, motherfucker! That's the end of that penal squad. Wasn't expecting that to happen, but that bundle grenade just isn't joking. And a T-34-76 coming out from tier 4. This might be where it falls apart for the Soviets. It might be where the Soviet comes back in to this game, or it might just be sort of a stalemate now that we have a T-34 up against something that can take it out in some circumstances and that can't take it out in other circumstances, namely the Stug. It's all about, do you get circle strafe? Do you get supported with your AT gun? Do you get hit by tank hunters? Do you, etc. So T-34-76, not a bad little tank. A bit outclassed by the German tier 4 stuff that's coming out, but not the end of the world. I mean, I say this as it's fucking getting itself destroyed. Not the end of the world if you use it, right? Especially considering you can start spamming them. You know, he's got the 200 fuel, and it only costs 100. Oops, just kidding. It only costs 80 fuel, so that could be another 2 T-34s if you had the manpower for it. He or she. So once you start spamming those T-34s, it gets certainly much easier to circle strafe the Stug. It gets much easier to stand up against the Germans if they start dumping some more tanks, and it's just very easy to hold the numbers superiority over the Germans, because for the 80 fuel of the T-34, they've got to spend 90 for the cheapest thing, the Stug, and 125 for the Panzer, so you can really start to outclass them. We have the conscript repair too, helps keep them in action, but it looks like, well, I was about to say it looks like the Soviet player is not doing that, but of course it's very hard to know what the Soviet player is doing because we don't have enough manpower to start spamming those T-34s yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. And it's impressive that the German players kept a hold of so many of these squads for so long. It's just really not translating into map control for whatever reason. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. There's not a lot you can do about those sorts of things except sometimes not sneeze, which many people don't like. A lot of people is like, oh god, I feel like I gotta sneeze, but I can't sneeze. This is the worst thing in the world. Please take me, Jesus, now. But I realized that one day I was like, maybe I shouldn't not like this feeling. Maybe I should just fucking like not feel bad when I can't sneeze when I want to sneeze. And so I tried that, and it works. Now it's like there's no longer any sort of negative affect attached to the inability to sneeze at a point in which I feel like I need to sneeze. So that's the power of your mind. And that's basically what the Buddha said, so I definitely recommend that to all of you, because I think there's no human alive who has not... This roof is better but bad. There's no human alive who has not at some point needed to sneeze, but not been able to sneeze, and then felt like they wanted Jesus to take them into the afterlife, where presumably this sort of stuff does not happen. I don't know if it says that in the Bible, but it might say that in the Bible. Man, how close to Vet 2 can you get? The answer being this close to Vet 2. Oh no! GG, fucking mother. So, for those keeping score at home, we're up to 2 tanks for the Germans, 0 tanks for the Soviets. The only AT on the entire Soviet side is the single partisan anti-tank squad, and the AT grenades on the rapidly diminishing conscript squads. I'm having big trouble seeing the Soviet player come back into this unless the fuel turns into something impressive. But there's no super tank at the end of this doctrinal tree. There's just a super artillery, which fuck that shit. So, you know, the best the Soviet player can hope for is what? An Su-85, a lot of T-34s. Where are these new tank hunters? There they are.
Supply sector under attack.
So I don't know what to say about that. The German players just got to get a handle on the, whoa, I don't know about this light artillery. Let's just watch these guys. One of them died. Oh, that was a sniper, wasn't it? Yeah, so it turns out the light artillery does fuck all, but the Panzer Grenadiers have to get out of there anyways, because there's a sniper. Oh no, the wire. What's it shooting at? It's attacking ground, assume. I mean, oh, it's shooting at the building, just knocking it down. Makes sense, I suppose. I don't know why, but it makes sense. Maybe the goal is to keep it out of the hands of the tank hunter. Maybe it wasn't any sort of CoH thought, but rather just this building is on the opponent's side of the map. Chances are it's going to be more useful for my opponent than me. I'll just knock this shit down. Maybe just wanted to get some use out of his tanks. So these conscripts not doing so bad with those PPSHs. I'm a big fan of PPSHs on conscripts. I'm just a big fan of conscripts generally, so I always like to see those used effectively. How's the repairs going? Hans, Fritz, Schlimmerker. What's happening to these guys? Oh, they're just idle. I saw the little clock thing in the bottom right, but it's because the flamethrower icon was also overlapping it. It looked like they had a weird icon. It just feels to me like we're waiting for the Germans to win. That's my assessment. Man, the peanut battalion icon in the bottom right, their portrait is just black and white. Is that on purpose? Click on other. Everything's just in fucking black and white. How that's new.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture.
I guess it's because there's some sort of like color filter over all this shit to make this map look like ass. I don't know. Very bizarre. That's new. What's the tank doing? Driving straight away. Interesting choice. Oh, we have a Katyusha coming out. Will this be the thing that turns it around for the Soviet player? It's hard to see how. Where's the sniper? That's pretty good range. Pretty good range. Finally made it to Bet 2, by the way. What do you get?
We have 200 points
That's
remaining.
not the thing. That's the thing. Increases weapon efficiency, rate of fire setting. So maybe that does increase the range. Cool. So, Katyusha. Really interesting choice. You don't have to back tech for it. You've got the tier 4. I don't know. Like, it's not going to kill the tanks. It just feels to me like this game is going to be won or lost based on killing these tanks for the Soviet player. And I guess I understand that if you establish infantry domination over the German player, which is still in the cards, you know, the Soviet player can still do that with these conscripts and these peanut battalions and these snipers, although it's just getting tougher and tougher as the German player has more and more squads. But if you can establish infantry domination, that is the point where your tank hunters can start to go to town on these enemy tanks, and also your conscripts can use their AT grenades and really help the tank hunters out. So I can sort of understand the Katyusha from that perspective, but it just seems like when your other options are the Su-85 and the T-34, and you've got the fuel for both of those, or both of those combined, really, It just seems really I mean, look, the T-34 is cheaper than the Katyusha, right? It's cheaper in manpower, it's cheaper in fuel, and even the fucking Su-85 is cheaper in manpower, and manpower is the thing you're hurting for, so I'm having trouble. Oh, well, yep, that's why you don't buy a Katyusha. Yep, boo! Okie dokie, so that's a nice first barrage. Oh, well, it actually fires one more shot. Where's it going? There's literally the German had like 20 years advance notice because it was firing most of the shots into the building. So there's a lesson there, folks. Indirect fire can hit things that you don't want it to hit. So that was fun. That's really funny. I'm disappointed that we don't get to fucking see if the Katyusha does anything for this player, because that was a wasted barrage, and we're gonna have to wait another, god damn, it's like 90 seconds, 80 seconds, something like that. We're gonna have to wait so long just to see the payoff from this fucking thing that I'm already despairing. Oh god, it's the roof. Please destroy this house. Anytime you're playing on this map, please just blow that thing up. Demo charge it for me. Demo charge it for the Tycho. Be my friend, won't you be my friend? So we have 200 fuel being floated by both players. German, I imagine, is feeling pretty damn comfy. Oh man, these guys just fucking eat it. Feeling pretty damn comfy with 2 tanks hanging out, 2 Panzer squads hanging out, 3 Gren squads hanging out, 2 machine guns hanging out, and even a nice little pack for when things happen. And the German player has just been lugging this thing back and forth the entire match. It has yet to do a goddamn thing. It hasn't come up against any enemy tanks or anything like that. I feel like the T-34 just avoided the pack the entire time, but it's an effective prophylactic, and also it can capture points, which is great. And so now we finally have a T-34 out. I'm glad to see that. Would like to see the Katyusha turn into a T-34, because once you start T-34 spamming, anything can happen. The world is your oyster, and nice job not setting up that machine gun, just wanting to stay mobile, maybe specifically because of the Katyusha, maybe more generally because you don't know where the attack is going to be coming from, whether the sniper is going to show up. There's all sorts of reasons to keep your MG mobile. Also, all sorts of reasons not to do this, setting up the MG right there. But, you know, the German player is trying to get a coordinated assault going on here. That looked like a boneheaded move because I was just looking at this part of the map, and this MG just fucking sets up in the middle of red cover right in front of a tank and a sniper. But the German is really executing a whole sort of 3-pointed assault here, and that MG was going to be one of the, holding down the flank and doing some good work there. So it didn't work out, but that was a good try by the German, and certainly the rest of the assault's going much, much better. The Stug is meeting no resistance, which is nice because it's driving around like a motherfucker. I think the Stug would make a lot more sense in this part of the assault. When you're setting up one of these assaults like this, you're moving in from a lot of angles. You want the angle that's not going to be moving very much, not going to be moving dynamically, to have the forward-facing assault guns, and tanks can be the ones on the flanks. Because the thing is, this sort of battalion is not going to need to refocus itself very much, and if it does, it's going to be very minimal. The Stug can be here, and it can just look in the north or look in the south. It doesn't have to move around a lot. Whereas something down here, down in the south, you don't really know where it's going to have to go. Is it going to have to circle and sweep around behind the enemy forces? Is it going to have to sort of directly go up front? Is it going to get hit from the bottom or even from the rear? Who knows? That's where you sort of want a tank that's a bit more mobile and can swivel its turret around, and most importantly can fire on the move, because that's the sort of part of the assault that's going to potentially need to be most mobile. So I would really swap the roles of the Stug and the Panzer IV in that sort of the tank hunters detect mines. That's interesting. Would have been neat to see that role swap. So I don't know. Must have been, I don't know. I don't fucking. It's just a Pack 40 out in the middle of nowhere. Don't kill it. So many things to talk about. The Pack 40, I guess, was just isolated. That attack just didn't have enough of the German army strength behind it. They were just, you know, these fucking guys hanging out down south. There were these guys who were, I think, not in the fight. There were maybe some guys back at base. I'm not sure there were actually guys at base. There were a few up north, I think. Anyways, didn't have the entire, yeah, these guys are just idle. Oh, I guess they're cloaked. How's that happen? It's from the Jaeger Infantry Doctrine. So the German just didn't have the critical mass to win that fight, and that meant the Soviet did manage to penetrate into where this Pak-40 was isolated, but then the Soviet just tries to destroy the Pak-40 with a penal battalion,
Sector is at risk.
which is, again, I just really feel like this is the thing to take. You have conscripts who are basically invented to crew weapons and fucking run away, just steal some shit. And it just, I don't know. Woo! Good luck that that Panzer IV missed that thing running away. So do we have the Katyusha? Still, it's killed one person, so that's actually a little impressive. I was expecting 0 kills, but still. Are you regretting the Katyusha yet? Are you regretting it? Especially because your opponent has been pretty dynamic with these MG42s, so there's not, and also, frankly, dynamic with the Pak-40, so there's not a lot you can expect to be set up, ready to go. I just don't understand this rapid conscription thing. Because he hasn't gotten any. Is this? Did these guys? These guys didn't come from rapid conscription, so nothing is happening. This is just a waste of munitions. Although to be fair, there's no other special abilities to spend munitions on. But look, you know, you can just throw fucking Molotovs and anti-tank grenades. Do we have Molotovs researched yet? No. Well, you can throw anti-tank grenades and especially satchel charges because you've already got those penal battalions. So throw those till the cows come home. Oop, ooh. Oop, stop running, just shoot it. The thing is, you can keep running forward and picking these people off, and then it can't fire at you.
Losing territory.
It's not quite that easy. I think they shoot at the closest guy, and it looked like those 2 other guys were closer to the sniper than that. But if you have some cover, you can just run out, fire, and then immediately cloak in the cover before the MG42 can fire back. So, I mean, it is kind of micro-intensive, so maybe the Soviet player was doing other stuff. That's, oh, well, rapid conscription turns out to have worked there. We just had 2 conscript squads come in from all these fucking losses, so I take back what I said about rapid conscription. I don't take back what I said about the Katyusha. It forced these people to reposition slightly to the left, and nothing happened. Ooh, this could get bad. This could get bad. They're sprinting. They're sprinting. Now they're running. Tactical movement. Tactical. There's so many names for the things that make people move faster. These guys seem like they're gliding. That's odd. Still anybody's game. Still seems like it's the Germans' game, but the German player's not using these tanks, and the tanks are the reason it's the German player's game. And if you don't use the tanks, wow, we had it. Who fucking quit? The Soviet player. Why'd you quit? Why? You had a T-34 building. You canceled it immediately and then quit. Why would you do that? You had to, you could claw your way back into this game. The T-34 spam is a thing you can do. There's no heavy tank at the end of this thing, so the worst you're expecting is like, what, a Panther coming out from tier 4? If you ever text it, where's the Panther come from? Do you even get a Panther? Pretty sure you get a Panther somehow. I don't know anything about this. Yeah, okay, he hasn't built tier 4. Thank God. Jesus, I thought I was going to say. So the worst you're expecting is a Panther, and frankly, you can deal with that if you maybe backtick to tier 2 or just fucking steal some AT guns, or even kill some Panzer Grenadiers with your snipers and take their Shreks. I don't know, that seems like giving up a little too early. You have 258 fuel in the bank. Granted, the Germans got 334. Maybe these players are bad. The German has 1,300 manpower. Maybe the players are bad. Okay. Maybe these both guys suck. Bye. Check the ladder. Bye. I don't know. I feel like I've casted Zerg 11111. Maybe Zerg is too common of a name. Okay, for realsies, bye this time.